Let's see. First things first. Puppy. All right. So this is something that I might try to start. Hopefully we can get better audio at some point. Try and get Discord to do stuff, but whatever. So this is what I'm gonna call a DM diary, and my notes are right there. So you're gonna see me look there, where my eyes are. I'm looking like straight ahead. Technically, it should be over here. Let me move stuff over that way. I look like I'm actually talking to something reasonable. So let's start off. So what happened last session? I should say this is the session of April 10th, 2022. So let's figure out what happened last session. It's been a minute already. This is way too long. So what happened last session? Party went to the Solsal Cathedral and then found a way in to go to the chapel at the far end of the cathedral, outside in the courtyard, and then started to make their way downstairs, where Charmaine found his mother and got a piece of her soul back, I guess. Only to find out the last part is in the depths of hell, or the abyss, I should say. So, let's see. So that's what happened. So the getting into the cathedral, going from the church that they started at, where they were hiding out, to get into the cathedral while everyone was looking for them. I did that as a skill challenge, and that did not go as well as I was hoping. Yeah, I think I need a better way to do skill challenges. I think I don't know how to do. So the notable, that's what happened. That's what new happened. New skill challenges. Still coming up with a really good system for it. The big issue is how do you get spells and other limited usability things to work. For example, Hova, a druid, turned into an owl, I believe, and scouted for the rest of the party. Does that give her perception? Does that give the party an automatic success, or does it not count for anything? Similarly, Ariana created a lightning storm off in the distance to draw people's attention away. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. Notable challenges, trying to figure out what the party's idea was of, hey, we're gonna go invade this thing. Hey, we don't know why we're here. Um, we did it originally to comfort Charmaine, but clearly Charmaine made it back anyways, so. Sorry, I'm tired. Okay, so what went well? I think combat went well for the party. Um, Save for Charmaine being in the space of every AoE that there could be. I don't know how it keeps dropping to 0 and coming back up. It's kind of absurd. Like, actually absurd. Let's see. Combat went well. What went poorly? The skill challenges kind of went poorly. Something else that went well, I think the very end, when Charmaine finds his mother and she's just like a sunken husk of a person, and he like sets his blade like on her chest, and what is effectively a corpse breathes its last breath. I think that went pretty well. That was, pretty good. Um, Poorly, I think some of the combats could go better, but uh, that's gonna be what's next. Bada bing. And next session's gonna so it ended with Charmaine putting his sword on the body of his mother, and that's that's where it ended. Everyone was too tired. I understand. I'm exhausted, and it's only 10 p.m. How do people work and do school? I don't know. Um, I'm doing it, so barely. Um, so what's next? So where they are is this little complex, and I really should have done it differently, but that's fine. So what's next? There's two rooms the party hasn't explored, and they need a way out. So maybe I shouldn't go too hard on them. But one of the rooms, it's already set up. There's two paladins there, and they're the guards to the prison. There's only three prisoners, two paladins. That's one or two. I'm not 100% sure. They've barricaded themselves inside. That's yeah. That's one. That's not going to be a cakewalk for the party. The other room is Dominus Aelhart's. If you're watching this, which no one is, and you don't know any of these names, I'm sorry. Um, Dominus Aelhart is a vampire. He is one of my players characters, Ariana Aelhart. Uh, he's her dad, as well as Charmaine's dad. Um, yeah, maybe I'll give like a rundown at some point. Uh, so they found his coffin, his resting place. The thing that they need to either, I suppose they could destroy it, they could take it with them, or they leave someone behind to deal with him because as soon as they kill Dominus, he turns into mist and flies back to his resting place. Yeah, I buffed up the vampire. Um, so that's how that works. The uh, so there's gonna be a couple guards, different guards, to this tomb, and these guards are going to be vampire knights, effectively vampire paladins, similar to the paladins they fought before. Only this time they have vampire powers. So what's cool about, excuse me, these ones is going to be that they basically get Misty Step on a bonus action every single turn on top of their movement. Since a vampire can turn into mist, it's going to be flavored as them turning into their black mist and moving. And maybe to differentiate it more, if there's anybody in a straight line, they might have to make a con save or take 2d8 necrotic damage, which is pretty cool. I'm thinking there's two schools of thought for me. There is, we make two of them, and the two of them are the two guards, and they can both be CR 6 to 7, just a little bit stronger than the paladins they fought before, or we make it a big boss. Give them legendary actions, layer actions, villain actions, mythic actions, or whatever it is. And I'm kind of leaning towards two CR7 creatures. I don't know how that quite matches up with other stuff. I'm really not sure. It's especially difficult because the party has, Tremaine especially, has a weapon with short sort of wounding that stops a creature from regaining health points, which is specifically designed to. I assume it's unintentional, and an unintentional design to help kill vampires. But that's why he has it, because it's, you know, a quest weapon. So if I do two of them, it's going to be two basically the same thing as the paladins from the other room, except now they can move around longer. They have much better mobility, and they regen 20 hit points at the start of every turn, which is going to be partially negated by Tremaine, which I gave it to him, but it is annoying against these kinds of creatures. That's not the point. So that's one idea. We have two of them. The second one is the boss. And what's interesting about the boss is we just give all those things as a legendary action. You can have a villain action, which is something that happens at some point on a specific trigger. For example, one being, oh, someone tries to leave. Then that triggers villain action, and like green flames erupt from all sides of the area they're fighting. And if the person goes through them, they have to make a con save or take, I don't know, 68 necrotic damage or psychic damage or something like that. Or just fire damage. No one's resistant to fire damage. And then you give them effectively a smite on every hit. I have a couple thoughts. One is there's a creature called a vampiric warrior or vampiric knight on I forget where. I think it's a third party thing. And it is a CR11 creature. We give it some buffs. We give it legendary actions, layer actions, and villain actions. That might be too tough. But we cut out like one of its training presence things. We just cut that. Or nerf it a bit, just so that it's a regular thing. Then we give it like villain actions like, oh, when it drops to less than 20 hit points, it sucks up all the life force from around it. And heals itself up by the amount of damage that it dealt. Or it kills all the minions around it. Sucks all their life force up to give it hit points. And then that's, maybe it gains a flat amount, or it gains an overshield, or something like that. So, but for either one, I think there's one cool mechanic, and I think this would get rid of the breath weapon of the CR11 Vampiric Warrior. And I think that is, and it might be instead of the villain action of raising the flames. And that is, you descend the whole tomb in this like suffocating darkness, and the only safe places to be are right next to the two vampires. And I think that's kind of cool. And if you have two of them, you can use a special reaction each of them has that blocks the other person's they have a sword and a shield, so they'd be able to with their shield block add AC to an attack that would hit the other person. I'm kind of leaning towards that, and then we just keep it relatively the same smites, and then we throw in maybe some skeletons or some trash mobs nearby. Um, the other idea I had was so my players are level 9, and I keep thinking they're level 10 or 11, which is not the case. They'll be level 10 at the end of this. Anyways, so ideas are a Narzagon, which is like an unholy paladin, or with like Marangons, and I love Marangons. I think they are actually way sicker than I thought. And a Narzagon is super cool. Only problem is they're gonna be a bit too tough for my party. So finally, we're gonna get to the very end, which is the I don't know have a good reason why it's safe to be next to the vampires. Maybe it just is. Um, or maybe it's not safe to be next to them. So everyone has to fight them ranged. Or it's if you start your turn in the darkness, you take that damage, but if you or maybe it's if you end your turn in the darkness, you take that damage, which allows for moving. Well, either way, it allows for moving through the darkness. I think end of the turn because that allows for the vampire knights to teleport away, and the player can run up to them to avoid taking that damage. I think that's what makes sense, and it allows them to nimbly navigate next to them and just does have a cool thing where they like impale you and then you're grappled and you're restrained. Um, yeah, that's that. So what do I expect to happen after? Um, Depends how healthy they are. I think what's going to happen is Xandria, Ariana's mom, but not Charmaine's mom, is going. She's this dope, like best of the best knight. She's like the coolest character I've ever made. Um, and she's significantly nerfed from how I'd want to make her. How is an archmage a level 18 wizard, like a CR 11 creature, then I'd go out and make basically a PC slash NPC stat block of a Pact of the Fiend warlock, which she no longer is. That's key. She's not that. Any players listening. But a Pact of the Fiend warlock, and I do the calculations, and she is like CR 17. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's absurd. But no, she's dope, and I need to fix her stat block. Um, so I'm thinking she's gonna come down. 2 sessions ago, Charmaine convinced her to, instead of Dominus, herself become the god of purity, which, maybe better, maybe worse. Uh, but now she's going to turn on Dominus. She doesn't like him anymore. So what I'm thinking she's going to do, she's going to meet the party down there. And oh, last thing about the encounter. Um, First thing they're going to see is they're going to see a bat fly out the window. Like that's the first thing. And if they attack the bat, the bat's entire thing is just escape. Um, unless they find a way to kill it, and then in which case the bat's just like a vampire spawn, or just a bat, or a vampiric knight. They'd have to deal with 3 of them. But the point of the bat is that the bat flies out, and the bat's then a messenger to Dominus that his coffin has been breached by the party. And that's important. And Xandria is going to come down when the fight's over, or if the fight's being lost. Regardless, about 5, 6, 7 rounds. If it's looking bad, yeah, 5, 6, 7 rounds, she's gonna walk down the steps into this place, and she is going to fight alongside the party to kill the knights. And the important thing is she's now kind of on the party's side, but she's gonna offer them like a deal, which is, hey, I want you to work for me. I don't want Dominus anywhere near the the genie that's gonna give us god powers. I don't want him anywhere near it. So I need him. He has power of his own that does not go through me. He's the pirate king, and I am the like leader of SolSal. Uh, he needs to be out of the picture. Otherwise, we can't have the pirates, SolSal, and you guys fighting each other. That's not sustainable. That's not reasonable. She's not even thinking about the party as a threat, because they're not. I'm gonna be honest, they're not a threat. Not to her. I think she could kill all of them pretty handily, especially depending on how I play her. Because she's got a lot of BS stuff going on. A lot. She always has like guards with her. The guards are not for her protection. Whatever. That's not the point. The guards are to heal her. Whatever. The party can't take Xandria. So I'm thinking Xandria is gonna come in and help the party once the bat is gone. It's gonna come in and help the party kill these guys, or she'll come down like moments later, enter the coffin room, and present the party with the idea that since she needs Dominus gone, since she needs Dominus gone, she's going to ask the party, hey, I need you to make sure that he dies. I can't send my own people, because that either tips him off that he's gone, or that he'll be on higher alert, and regardless, he's going to be looking for SolSal people, something. I can't do it. I can't do it myself, and I can't send the knights to do it because he will just turn the knights. He has a soft spot for the party, so we need you to exploit that to kill him. Unfortunately, now that he knows that after he knows the party's going to be coming after him, he's going to start feeling vulnerable, start feeling mortal. So he's not going to be as bold and just talk to you face to face again. No, he's going to be holed up in the Pirate Cove, or his own island, the SolSal Island that the pirate games happened on. All kinds of things like that. He's going to be somewhere. Maybe she doesn't know where, but she just knows he needs to be out of the picture. So she's going to take off her own like great sword, like unbuckle it and toss it to Ariana, and then that's going to be the Acheron great sword. which is going to be how she gets it. Originally, Dominus had it, and then she had it because she can combo with it, which is very cool. But yeah, that's kind of the session. What happened, what went well, what went badly, and what's in the future. And that is, it seems like mostly future talk. We'll see how well any of that happens, if any of that happens, next time on my DM Diaries.